This is so typical of what the Democrats do now. After your policies have transparently failed and led to the deaths of millions of Americans, now you say you've never heard of defunding the police. Your own report recommends it on page after page after page. Let me ask about something else you say. I want to talk about some of these policies that have gotten to where we are today. Mr. Jackson, if I could just start with you. You were deputy director in the Biden White House for gun violence and a special assistant to the president. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You're also affiliated with the Community Justice Action Fund. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm also a survivor of gun violence.
You were their executive director. When was that, the Community Justice Action Fund?
2021 to 2023.
And you're affiliated with them now?
Yes, as executive advisor.
Okay. The Community Justice Action Fund is, do you disclose your donors?
Yes.
All of the donors are public?
Yes.
You're funded by the Tides Advocacy Group, among others?
They're a fiscal sponsor.
This is, right.
They
That would be
handle
a
our
donor.
HR.
Yeah. This is a George Soros funded group?
No.
He's one of the donors?
No.
He's a donor to the Tides Advocacy Group?
Yeah, that's our fiscal sponsor. So they handle our HR, our back office, our operations.
Great. Okay. Great. So
Our fiscal sponsor?
in other words, I mean, that's
we're one of 300 organizations.
right that they run. You are a
Yes, but
subset
we
of
pay
them.
pay them to be a fiscal
Well,
sponsor.
you are a subset of that organization, which he helps to fund, right? Okay. All right. Just wanted to get a level set here. So let's just, I want to ask you about some of the policies that you've advocated because they're exactly what we see implemented in these blue cities, like defunding the
Yes.
police.
No.
Oh, indeed. Let
That's
me just
not- we
quote to you
advocate
from-
for
Wait, I
investing.
haven't asked a question yet. We'll get to. I've got a lot of questions. Believe me, and I'll give you time. So let's talk about this report that you issued when you were executive director, a policymaker's playbook. And I'll ask you to enter it into the record, Mr. Chairman. Great.
Without objection.
Thank you. In this report, you advocate, and I quote now, defunding the police because the long-term goal is fundamentally to reimagine how the state serves its citizens in the project of public safety. You go on to say police departments traumatize residents through a destructive cycle of racist over-policing, and the answer is not to add any more money to police budgets. Talk to me about, I mean, why is it that denying policing to the most vulnerable communities is a solution? I know that's what the blue cities are doing, but why is that a good idea?
Well, look, I in no way stand with defunding law enforcement. I mean,
That's what your report says.
Sheriff Mike Sheridan, who taught me how to drive when I was 16 years old.
Wait. Your report, when
And,
your executive
and
director
as-
said
as-
you wanted to
as-
defund the
as
police, do
deputy
you
director of the
renounce
White
this
House-
report?
as
Mr.
deputy director
Jackson,
of the
do
White
you,
House
do you
office-
renounce the report that you authored as executive director? Here it is.
You're the second senator to bring up an op-ed or
This isn't an
documents from
op-ed. This
before
is
my
your
tenure.
report, a policymaker's playbook to reduce gun violence without policing communities.
Okay.
Community Justice Action Fund, copyright 2023, when you were executive director. Now you say you don't know anything about it. Now you say that you haven't heard of it, just like the Democrats who all of a sudden say, oh, we're all for the police. They've been advocating defunding them for years.
Okay, well, you can look at documents or you can look at
My
results.
question is, do you renounce this report now? You say
And my
you no longer agree with
answer-
this.
And my answer is that I led the efforts to invest $42 billion in law enforcement.
You've advocated
if you wanna pull a
defunding
quote-
the police as
you wanna pull-
executive director of an organization that you still lead and are affiliated with.
Never see me advocate for that directly. What you see me
So
advocate for
what is this
a
then?
comprehensive approach to reducing
Right.
violence.
The
And we've
comprehensive approach
recognized
is
that
defunding
law
the
enforcement
police,
is a
which is
part of
what
the
this
ecosystem
says.
the entire time.
This is so typical of what the Democrats do now. After your policies have transparently failed and led to the deaths of millions of Americans, now you say you've never heard of defunding the police. Your own report recommends it on page after page after page. Let me ask you about something else you say. Here's what you say we ought to invest in. Instead of funding the police, here's what we ought to invest in. We need to
pull it up?
invest in programs that acknowledge the need for safe space initiatives
Yes.
led by lesbian, gay, bisexual, two-spirit, trans, and gender nonconforming people. What's two-spirit?
Well, look, I don't know exactly. You guys are pulling some interesting quotes.
This
here.
is from your report.
If you look at the report, the focus is on investing in violence intervention, outreach workers.
Why does you
victim
say that you
services.
shouldn't invest in the police,
So,
but we
yeah,
ought to
so
invest
these-
in
so-
two-spirit community programs that acknowledge two-spirit
Look, we are not going to
individuals.
discriminate
What
against.
is that?
We're not going to discriminate against any nonprofit that
What
wants
is
to
a
help us
two-spirit?
prevent violence in
What
our
is
community.
two-spirit? You say don't fund the police, but do fund programs that create safe spaces for two-spirit people. What is? I just want to know. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
Well, honestly, I'm not completely aware of the language or
You
the
wrote
spirit
the
of how that was
report?
written. But what I'm telling you is that what we
What is a
advocate for,
two-spirit individual? I mean, really, this is your policymaker's playbook.
Google it.
You are the witness called by the Democrats on this committee, so I assume you reflect their views.
Well,
you don't want to fund the police. You want to fund safe spaces for two-spirit individuals. What is a two-spirit person?
Let's figure this out ourselves. What does two-spirit mean?
What is two-spirit? It's an umbrella term that
Hold on, this guy. This is some white dude that's culturally appropriating native wear. Get out of here with that shit. Is he getting roasted in the comments? Is it so hard to let natives keep the title of two-spirit to themselves for real? Us non-natives aren't losing anything because of it. Some of y'all have never seen or spoken to a native in your life, but apparently you know the ins and outs of their terminology, and that's crazy to me. Thank God for this. Can you please let us natives keep one thing to ourselves, please? What does the Wikipedia say? Two-spirit as a term and concept is neither used nor accepted universally in Native American cultures. Indigenous cultures that have traditional roles for gender nonconforming people have names in their own indigenous languages for these people and the roles they fill in their communities. Early adopters stated that two-spirit identity does not make sense outside of Native American or First Nations cultural framework, and its use by non-natives, yes, is a form of cultural appropriation. Hell yeah. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
What is a two-spirit person?
I feel like I'm looking at a two-faced individual because you talk about reducing
Oh, no, sir.
violence.
You're looking at somebody who's
You're also
reading you
speaking
your
out
own
against
words, and I'd like to hear an
violence
answer.
prevention programs.
Here's the answer. The answer is you don't have any solutions. You want to invest in gobbledygook and take away money from police officers who actually keep our community safe, and when you're called on the record, you deny it. It's all
We
there in
invested
black and
law
white, and
enforcement.
your
We
record is
invested
there in
in
black and
community
white,
solutions.
and it's a disgrace.
We reduced homicides by 31%. And as someone who's been shot and nearly killed, I take offense that you would think that
I
the
take
last
offense
13
that you won't
years
answer my
we're not
questions,
focused on
that you
reducing
deny your
violence.
own words, and that you are leading this committee astray. And frankly, sir, your policies are absurd. They're absurd.